All right, so we all have heard protein powders, and we should be using them because we need more protein. We need protein in our diet. So we're going to ask the expert, Tyler, to give us the insight as to what protein powders are, what they're doing for us, why we should use them, and the difference between them, because there's so many out there now.
Yeah, and it gets very confusing as well. So the reason why somebody would want to use a protein powder is essentially they want more protein in their diet. And a lot of people don't know if they need more protein in their diet, but usually you can safely say if you're active, if you have like certain special diets like vegan or vegetarian, or you don't eat a lot of protein-dense foods, which is a whole other topic in itself, protein powders are an easy way to get about 30 grams, 25 to 30 grams of protein at a serving, which is about 4 eggs or about 4 ounces of meat. So, and it's really fast, it's 30 seconds. The more active you are, the more protein you'll need, and your choices usually for protein powders are pretty much here. We've got basically about 4 or 5 different kinds.
Perfect. So you can take us through those.
Yeah, absolutely. So the one that everybody's mostly familiar with, if you walk into any health food store, you'll usually always see this first, is whey protein. You'll see whey protein everywhere. Now there's one big misconception with whey protein is a lot of people think that because it's sort of the go-to choice for muscle building, so for bodybuilders and people who are looking to add more muscle to their bodies, that it's something that if you just eat it, you'll start putting on muscle. So a lot of women, I find in particular,
is that right?
are really reluctant. They're like, I don't want this whey protein. These labels are fairly mild looking, but a lot of whey proteins have like big muscle bound guys on there.
So that's what you're thinking stay away from.
Yeah, people sort of get a little bit fearful of it. It's absolutely not true. If I were to drink a whey protein shake on a daily basis without trying to build muscle, like I'm not exercising, I'm not doing anything in particular, I won't gain any muscle. So it doesn't put on muscle unless you're actually willing it to happen with exercise. And the main 2 kinds of whey protein that you find often nowadays, you'll find North American, which would be something like this. North American whey, because whey is from milk, you still have the same issues that you have with like regular old dairy products. There's still a bit of hormones, antibiotics, and that type of thing present. Whereas you can get New Zealand whey nowadays.
Sure, that's one I've heard a lot of buzz about.
Yeah, New Zealand whey. I mean, Canadian whey products and Canadian dairy aren't bad, relatively speaking, as far as the world nations go.
Sure.
New Zealand has federal laws which prohibit the use of hormones, growth hormones, and antibiotics. If they have to use antibiotics because the cow just naturally gets sick, then they don't use it for milk production. It just gets quarantined. So it's a much cleaner method to use. Results-wise, there won't be any difference. It's just much cleaner. It's closest to organic, you'll find.
But if you're milk sensitive in any way, probably not the one you should go to.
Yes, if you're milk sensitive, absolutely. It's a great point. It's something you probably shouldn't go to. Some people who have issues with whole milk or lactose are often okay with whey because they filter out the lactose quite heavily. And some people's whole milk allergy usually comes from casein, which is like the other half of the equation. There's whey and there's casein in whole milk, and so some people it's just the casein that bothers them. So something you have to kind of try out. Now the advantages of whey, why it's so popular is because it's cost effective and it's very bioavailable, which means that for every gram that you take from a whey protein, your body will retain most of it, like 95% of it.
Now what about something like soy?
So soy is probably your next, everything from here on in is pretty much a vegetarian vegan option. Soy would be your best bioavailable vegan protein. So soy in itself, so soy is a bean, it's very high in protein by nature relative to like garbanzo beans and other types of beans. It has a very high bioavailability. It's a very good complete protein, which means it has all the essential amino acids that you need in your diet. Now, the 2 reluctant things I find with people when it comes to soy protein, actually there might be 3. One is it is a very common allergen still, so in which case you'd want to avoid it. 2, it's quite oftenly genetically modified. So for people who are in anti-GMO movements, you got to be careful. You got to read the labels carefully, make sure you're getting one that's non-GMO. And then the 3rd, soy is known to have what they call estrogen balancing properties. It contains phytoestrogens, which are things that are similarly shaped to estrogen, estrogen mimickers, I should say. So the concern is things like, is it going to lead to breast cancer? Men are concerned that they're going to start developing female traits, like all kinds of weird things that make sense in theory, I guess. Exactly.
I can say that.
You could say it. That's exactly what they say.
Absolutely. So be careful with that.
Yes.
But then there are some other options, like some of the mixed vegan proteins and rice proteins.
And those 2 things about soy are complete myths too. There's no man boobies or anything like that.
We're good.
Nothing
Guys,
there.
you're okay.
Then you've got your vegetarian protein, which is usually always a mix. And vegetarian proteins usually go to the way to not use soy for those people who are trying not to get soy. So they'll do pea protein, rice protein, hemp protein, all kinds of kitchen sink proteins. The bioavailability isn't quite as good, but if you're vegan or vegetarian, you don't want to do whey and you don't want to do soy, that would be your next best option.
A good option for you.
And the blend has a great flavor too.
Yeah, which is also nice because sometimes you get it's the
Gritty.
texture and the grittiness that people don't like. So you have to test that out too to see what your palate's going to enjoy.
Yeah.
And then rice is another good option.
Yeah, rice would be one of those options where it would be my last choice as far as protein quality goes, but my first choice if you have a really sensitive immune system or you have a lot of food allergies, food sensitivities. Rice is like the hypoallergenic option that you can choose from.
Which is really great. And then I want to end on hydrolyzed proteins. That's a tough one.
You can hydrolyze just about any protein source. The thing about hydrolyzation is it's any protein. In this case, we're using a hydrolyzed whey. You take any protein, you apply enzymes to it, and it breaks it down into its basic elements, which are its amino acids. The thing about hydrolyzed protein of any kind is that your body can't identify where it came from. It's completely, your immune system doesn't recognize it from whey, from rice, from anywhere. So it's essentially completely, as far as immune health goes, it's completely hypoallergenic. So in this case, you get the benefits of whey. You get all the high bioavailability. It retains very well. It's still kind of cost effective, but as far as your immune system recognizing it as a milk allergy or a milk source, your immune system can't tell the difference.
Interesting, great.
Because it's broken down into, it loses all its identity essentially when it's broken down as much as it is.
Tons of content, so much when it comes to just your protein powders. You could probably broken each one of these down and just talked about it for 5+ minutes. So, but if you do have more questions, you want more information, you can check out Full Circle Health Center. They're located up on Centennial Parkway, fullcirclehealthcare.ca. We're just making sure you're awake over there, Greg, because we're coming to you next. And you can follow them on Twitter as well. So all the information's there. They're willing to help. Thanks so much, Tyler. Have yourself a happy holiday, and we'll see you in 2014.
Happy birthday.